All right. So I'm not gonna jump on the bandwagon, but I normally don't jump on the bandwagon. Like, following up after stars and talking about their personal life and shit that is going on with them. We all research and look into things that are important to us, and you know, we all have opinions on everything that we see. That's just how we are. But that's just not like, the just popping off about every celebrity's shit is not for me. Like, I'm literally busy doing my own fucking thing. I'm truly not for that. But I was just having a conversation with a friend of mine literally the night before, and this person was literally in the conversation, and just because they bought them up. It wasn't like I bought them up. Like, they bought them up. I'm like, listen, this is how I feel about it. And I'm not judging, the circumstance. I'm just verbatim off of the shit that he's claiming and the shit that you saying. That's not truth. So my problem was this. And everybody's in a different point in their life. Everybody's in a different part of their growth and a different point of their growth. And depending on, your spirituality, your religion, a lot of different factors, it just is a deciding factor of plenty in your life. So this particular conversation was basically, touching on a friend of mine that I don't no longer want to associate with, because I'm in a point in my life where I'm not running up after nobody. And, at a certain point in time, when you're the type of person that no matter what's going on in your life, you don't have to be all up underneath somebody, but you're not deading people. You're not ghosting people. You're not using your circumstances as an excuse as to why you're not hitting somebody up. And even just letting them know, whether that be hitting them up to be like, hey, how you doing? Or whether that's hitting them up like, yo, girl, or yo, dude, I've been going through this, and that. Just literally hitting them up in general. So the whole conversation was basically around that. And this person was always like that. And I just like let that shit slide. And me and a close friend were just discussing it, and they were just basically giving excuses to this person, like, Will Smith said, Will Smith said that if you can put yourself in somebody else's shoes, you could be everybody's friend. And I said, it don't work like that. It don't work like that, because even if you can empathize with somebody, even if you can put yourself in somebody else's shoes, you might be able to feel what somebody's feeling, but you may not react the way they're reacting. And you may not agree at all with the way they're reacting. And that doesn't mean that you can't be, that you shouldn't get opportunity, and, you know, I don't know, you should be boxed out or whatever the case may be, but it doesn't mean you got to be nobody's friend. It don't mean you got to ha kiki with everybody. Okay? And you get an opportunity should be based off of your skill alone. And, especially in this industry, it's a lot of people in this industry that don't even get a chance because they don't even know. They don't even know nobody. The industry itself, they only give opportunity to people, sometimes to people that slave, that work literally for free to get that opportunity. They could be shitty ass employees, but they get the opportunity because they decided to slave and work for free. It is a fucking epidemic in that industry. So, there is so many, dynamics and dichotomies involved in that industry itself. But when we're talking about your everyday person, who the fuck wants to be friends with everybody? When you know everybody doesn't react the way you react, or the person doesn't believe the shit that you believe. They don't behave the way that you behave. You would never behave that way. And the same, and it's a double-edged sword, right? So, you know, I responded the way I responded, and it is what it is. And I was just like, my response was basically like, I believe that that's bullshit. The only reason they responded like that is because of the fact that, they themselves are a business. So they gotta fucking make sure that they making money. They gotta be on that law of attraction shit. They gotta be on that positive all the time shit. Sometimes you can't. I'm all about you being positive all the time. Sometimes you wake up or you get into a situation and it's like, I will fucking smack the bricks off of that person. I can't fucking believe that person. Like, I am justified right now in the fucking ridiculousness that's going on right now. We live in America. It's 2022. If you can smack the shit out of your kid with an open hand, and not be legally considered to be having abused that child. Sometimes it's badass fucking kids out here. Sometimes a kid need to be smacked up. Kid need to be smacked up. I'm not advocating for fucking abusive children. No, but there's some fucking badass kids out here, and some of these kids need to be smacked the fuck up. Nobody's saying, oh, be punching them in the face and grabbing baseball bats and shit and beating your kids. No. But sometimes if it's too much, a kid need to be popped in the mouth. And that's it. So why is everybody all tripping that a grown ass man, regardless of whether he laughed about something, nervously or whatever the case, because in that industry, you try to laugh everything off. You good at crying too. Okay, you might have not felt bad at all. You good at crying too. Shit, it's a lot of niggas out here judging this dude, and they don't even know how to cry. They can't even cry. They got trauma they can't even cry for. It's people struggling. They can't even cry for them. And it's a lot of people out here judging this person over the fact that they laugh and then they got up to smack somebody. Well, you might have laughed, just try to laugh it off and it's fine. But if the person that you care about, whether you're fucking them or not, whatever their fucking personal situation is, whatever the fucking case may be, if they felt some type of way, you decided, you know what? Let me get up and fucking let me get up and handle some business real quick. Okay? There's a lot of speculation as to whether it was staged or not. Even if it wasn't staged, even if it was staged, it's irrelevant. The fact of the matter is that we in 2022, and look at the laws in this country. You got people in this country that they want you to have freedom of speech, but then they don't want you to be able to protect yourself. They want to be boxing people out of protecting themselves. You got people that have literally been sued from the criminals that broke into their house and stole their shit because somebody fucking sat there in all of their what should have been their right, that fucking went to lay their ass out. They suing the fucking homeowner. You got bullying as an epidemic because people are afraid to teach their kids how to defend themselves. And the schools are not doing nothing about it. It's the kids shooting up schools because of bullying and shit. So what, we're going to sit here and just let niggas talk shit about us and let people, make us feel like shit over shit that you shouldn't even be joking about. We, like I said, we in 2022, as a comedian, you should know shit you supposed to be joking about, shit you not supposed to be joking about. I don't give a shit. Even if she was not even starring in that movie, everybody looking at that shit that knows anything about them, people in that industry, I didn't even know that she had alopecia. I don't even be up in their business like that. Okay? But all I know is that it's well known that it's certain shit that you don't joke about. People still joke about slavery and shit and black oppression, and it's still going on today. Not the same as it was, but oppression is so subtle at this point that it's acceptable that they could joke about it like it's nothing, even though it's a serious issue. I mean, when we're talking about something that is like, so serious, like the most marginalized people in the entire world are people, women, black women that are gay, that have disabilities. Everybody likes to focus on black men. We even focus on black men because they're the ones that you see in media all the time. But the reality of the fact is they're not even the most marginalized. They're the ones that face the most violence, sure. But they're not the most marginalized. So when we go into settings like that, you have to know the responsibility, the weight that is on your shoulders. So you make it fun. Let's say she just has her hair short because she got her hair. That's the style she wants. Fine. Joke on that. But when you're talking about, especially when you're talking about people that they don't really realize that they're part of the community, they're not even looking at themselves like that. They might not even be looking at themselves like that. But coming from a person that has invisible illnesses, the shit that I had to deal with? The shit that I had to deal with. I had to deal with invalidation from people that's supposed to be the closest to me. And I'm going to sit there and fucking let some nigga fucking clown me on the fucking on an award show when I'm supposed to be, or my husband's supposed to be sitting there accepting an award or accepting an achievement for his skill. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And we came to a society, we're in a society, we've come to a society where everybody, yeah, you can have free speech, but don't be trying to feel some type of way when somebody's smacking the fucking taste out your mouth because you talking that bullshit. Talking that bullshit. Somebody need to smack your ass in your fucking mouth. Maybe if they smacked your ass in your mouth earlier, you wouldn't be over here talking that bullshit. You wouldn't think that shit is a joke. And we don't even know we don't even know as the public if he had a writer, if the writer should have got smacked in the fucking mouth. No matter what, if he wrote it, all we know is that as a comedian, he should know better. Because it's common knowledge in the comedian fucking world that it's some shit you're not supposed to be joking about. You don't see him joking about no damn Jews. Because that nigga would have been canceled a long ass time ago. And they ain't even in no damn oppression no more. So, I mean, what are we talking about here? So when is it the responsibility of the person that's doing the job to say, hey, that's OD. He could have skipped over that shit, moved along, and that's it. Instead, he gonna run the shit, and then when somebody gets offended by it and they're like, what the fuck? It better not happen again. Now you got everybody all, oh, violence. Motherfucker, you don't give a fuck about violence. If you give a fuck about violence, you wouldn't even be supporting America. You wouldn't be supporting half the shit going on in this bitch. Violence is okay when your ass is benefiting from it, but when you're not benefiting from it and it's just a show, it just looks to you like a show, it's unacceptable then. Then you'll sit there and complain why. Prime example, all the time these fucking people sat there and was talking about, oh, why, how come minorities beat their kids, this and that, but then turn around and be like, oh, these fucking gangbangers in the street, all they're doing is fucking, murdering each other. Okay, why you bitching now? Why you bitching now? Because when the moms was ready to fuck somebody up because the kids up because they were acting the fool, when the parents was ready to fuck a kid up because they were acting the fool, if they literally were acting the fool, if they weren't acting the fool and it was full on abuse, then fine. That's a problem. We're talking about correcting your kid with a fucking reasonable, let me smack the shit out of this kid because this kid is fucking tripping right now. Or let me put some soap in this kid's mouth because this kid is cussing too much. Okay? Now the kid is a fucking adult and what? Everybody loves the game because the game is talking about, look, I whoop my kid's fucking ass because he interrupted my fucking prayer time. If I don't whoop his ass, the fucking police gonna fucking put his ass in the ground later on because he don't have no fucking respect. It's the same thing. Everybody loved the game when the game was talking that shit. So what is wrong with a person that is sitting up there going, hell the fuck no, you're not going to fucking make fun of disabled people. Literally part of the most marginalized fucking population, whether they want to act like they are or not. Whether when they not act but acknowledge that they are or not. You mad at him because he went up there and fucking basically laid the fucking law down. I don't see I don't see how that shit is acceptable. And then everybody else is sitting over there like, first of all, we already know that the Oscars was mad fucking racist in itself. She was his wife was one of the ones who protested that shit. So, flash forward, I didn't even know that it was nobody's Oscars. Disabled people won awards and everything. One of the first Afro Latina openly LGBTQ person got award. Not because, don't listen to the white supremacists that were too fucking, weak to actual join a white supremacist group that pay attention to fucking the Oscars, where only mostly majority white people are fucking judging these people instead of the public is joining judging these people, where we're sitting over there like, hello, you should be considering all of the coworkers, not just white male coworkers. Ignore all those angry white people, okay, because they're irrelevant right now. We wouldn't even know it was the Oscars if it wasn't for this guy sticking up for his disabled wife, regardless of what they went through, regardless of what they're going through, and regardless of what their status is on their relationship and how their relationship operates. That's none of our damn business. But what we do know is you're not about to make fun of his wife's disability. That's what you're not gonna do. You're not gonna do that again. I bet you won't do that again. And in my opinion, coming from a person with invisible illnesses, I'm like, it would have been me going up there smacking the fucking bricks off this dude, because ain't no way he would have been coming up with that bullshit. Even if he uses whatever excuse, he should have been like, man, they know each other's personal business. We don't know. The only groupies know their business like that. I ain't no damn groupie, so I don't know. I didn't even know she had a problem. Okay? I didn't even know. I truly didn't even know. I don't even know. Now I know. I know you not about to be joking about no hair loss up in this bitch. I know that's not about to be a joke up in this motherfucker. Because if he was joking about somebody who was in a wheelchair, if he was joking about somebody that had cancer, all the shitstorm that would have fell down upon him. The shitstorm that would have fell down upon him. Now everybody want to be like, oh, because what? First Prince of Bel-Air, Men in Black, and smile and nod and let a nigga talk shit about you. Acting is acting, but at a certain point in time, they have to, as actors and actresses, acknowledge where this racism, where this discrimination, where this ridiculousness is at, meet it where it's at, and fucking dead that shit. There's no way that shit is going to continue. We're not going to do that. We not doing that. And even when I just literally brought him up in a conversation earlier, and I felt as though his statements were contradictory to how normal people operate, and even though I understood that they operate in a different sphere, everybody is human at the end of the day. They're human at the end of the day. So if you think that a disabled person or a black person is supposed to be the butt of your jokes when they're really actively going through oppression at that moment in time, or they're going through invalidation or whatever the case may be at that time, and you think that it's funny and it's okay and it's completely acceptable for you to use them as a fucking butt of a joke, that's not going to be acceptable. It's just not going to work. Because now you're a bully. You're being a bully. And we're coming from the perspective of, we doing more than a lot of able-bodied fucking men and women out here just to get by. We doing the most. We doing more than we can do. We're operating off of, weed and alcohol and prescription medication and all kind of shit just to fucking put food in our fucking mouths. Because nobody wants to understand that there's people that do need help, because they want to make it seem like lazy people should be getting help, or people that made bad choices. We didn't choose this. We didn't choose this life. So now you putting us up against people that are completely able and capable, even if cards are stacked up against them, to do over, above, and beyond to get what they need and what they want in life and fulfill their responsibilities. And you want to put us against lazy people or people that want to stay stuck in their depression. Will we have to fight through our depression just to get up and wash our ass and to get through our day-to-day life? You want to do that? No, please. Somebody smack the shit out of no. Okay? That's where we're at. And even if it was a stunt, guess what? It was a good stunt because it brought light to those people that are breaking those boundaries that we may have missed, not because we don't care, we don't follow them, because they didn't even give them the opportunity for us to be knowing who they were. They have been keeping the focus on all these able-bodied white males for how long that we're so disgusted by it that we can't even watch this shit anymore. This shit is ridiculous. So I'm gonna keep it short, and 21 minutes is short for me, but I'm gonna keep it as short as I can keep it. I don't get me wrong. I ain't gonna say Chris didn't take that smack. He took it. He should have took it. He should have stood there. He shouldn't have fought back. He should have took it and said, wow, I need to correct myself. I need to, next time I come up here, I need to think about what I'm about to say before I say that shit. Prepare himself for his job or prepare themselves for their job. But for all these people, oh, why did want an apology? Even him apologizing in the first place. Don't fucking apologize for that shit. Don't apologize for that shit. If you felt that, if that's what the decision, if you know the weight of your decision, okay? You know what you could be sacrificing. Do it in that shit. Do it in that shit with conviction, okay? Because at the end of the day, Denzel could fucking try to make you feel bad and say, oh, when you're at your best, the devil comes for you and da-da-da. Man, your fucking career was more popping plenty of times before this fucking film. Plenty of times. Plenty of times it was more fucking popping than this right now. But when it matters, it matters. When it's important, it matters. And you fucking defend that shit and that's it. We wouldn't be in this state of we had all this excess violence and all this extra shit, all the extreme violence and all this extra shit, if people actually felt like they could actually protect themselves and their family. Like you telling me you gonna sue me and you was breaking into my shit and stealing my shit. How? You gonna tell me that while we were busy growing up, you decided to turn our rights, our Second Amendment rights, into a qualification process, and then you just thinking everything's gonna be okay. You done took our free speech, and we talking that real deal, looking for change, and people getting arrested. They can't even protest. You done took our right to protest and everything, and we supposed to be okay with that. You tripping. Y'all, they're tripping. The people that were playing games while we were sitting there busy growing up, playing games with our lives, are now realizing, oh, this was a bad decision. That might have been a bad move. Okay? Come on now. Don't. No. He didn't go up there and beat him with a baseball bat. He didn't go out there and punch his front teeth out. He went out there, he smacked the fucking taste out his damn mouth, and dude sat there, ate that shit, and that was it. He learned himself a lesson, and that was it. Everybody else, oh, that doesn't justify. You know how much shit out here that is violent, that is really with no justification? No, this is justified, okay? Because for one, come to a perspective of a person that's sitting there waiting to achieve an award versus a person that's sitting there who is presenting the award. You're already in a position of authority. Matter of fact, we've seen your fucking face God knows how many times in award shows, okay, when there's plenty of other people that are fucking funny that could have been standing up there fucking hosting. Okay, so you're already in a fucking position of authority over this entire situation. And then you decide to shirk your fucking responsibility and your accountability as a professional. And you're going to sit over there and make fun of people with legitimate health concerns, legitimate health issues. No, absolutely not. I'm gonna leave it right there. I don't care what they say. We not meant to be everybody's friends. Not everybody's supposed to be your friend because there's some trifling ass people out here. It's some trifling ass people out here. Nobody's saying, oh, she should be obligated to treat him any type of way because he defend her. No, fuck that. Okay? Leave that to the side. He felt like he needed to do what he needed to do. She felt her type of way. He responded, and that's it. There's no obligation after that. There's none of that. It's what is acceptable and what is not. What you should be asking yourself is, where are we as a society? Where are we as a people? How are they as an industry thinking that it's acceptable to be making fun of people who have legitimate health concerns? You wouldn't be up there talking about a woman that's barren or a woman that has continuously had stillbirths and be making fun of her and talking about, oh, we can't wait to see you in the movie of your womb is empty. You wouldn't be you'd be like appalled. What makes one's health concern greater than the other? What makes aside from you using the terminal illness versus, lifelong disability or whatever the case may be, you can use that excuse all the fuck you want, but it's still an illness, it's still a disease, it's still a fucking disability at the end of the day. It's all under the same umbrella. You're not about to be out here making fun of disabled people. You're not about to be doing that. You're not about to be doing that. Unless you want the fucking taste slapped up out of your mouth. And everybody in the disabled community, and it's a lot of us, because people have disabilities don't even know that shit. They don't even know that shit. But when they become a part of that community, then oh, yeah, y'all been going through this your whole life. Oh my goodness, this is horrible. Yeah, because this whole time, nobody has had our back. This whole fucking time. And then we're in 2022 and people think that shit is acceptable. That shit is not acceptable. You can go fuck yourself with that fuck shit.